Good morning, everyone. Please rise in body or spirit and let's sing. Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. A new day dawns, once more the gift is given. Wonder fills this moment shared together. The light of peace here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. Open eyes to see that life abounds. Open hearts to welcome it among us. The light of love here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
Good morning. Welcome to the First Universalist Church of Denver. This church is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association and a sanctuary for spiritual growth, community, and connections, building the world we dream about together. My name is Reverend Jenny Amstutz, although you may have known me years ago as Jenny McCready. Here with my 4 little kids, I have been a member of this church for, I think, about 22 years now. You don't see me very often because I am now the minister at Columbine UU Church in Littleton. I use the pronouns she, they, and I will be leading worship this morning while Reverend Eric is off celebrating his birthday today. It is a delight to be with you here this morning, where I see many familiar faces and lots of new folks, too, here at my home congregation. For 130 years, this church has been offering a liberal and liberating message, and I'm honored to continue that tradition with you here today. Each of you is welcome in this space. We don't have a live stream this morning due to technical issues, but we are glad that you have come here today to make First Universalist part of your spiritual journey. I'd like to give a special welcome to those of you who are visiting for the first time. Please help us get to know you and to take your next step on your journey by completing the visitor form at the welcome table after the service. If you do that, we'll make sure to get you added to our weekly emails so you'll know all about what's going on here at First Universalist. You're also invited to stick around after the service for coffee and conversation in the Hospitality Center. We are so glad you're here.
Please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn.
Come thou fount of every blessing, tune our hearts to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. While the hope of life's perfection fills our hearts with joy and love, teach us ever to be faithful. May we still thy goodness prove. Come thou fount of every vision, lift our eyes to what may come. See the lion and the young lamb dwell together in thy home. Hear the cries of war fall silent, feel our love glow like the sun. When we all serve one another, then our heaven is begun. Come thou fount of inspiration, turn our hearts to higher ways. Lift our gloom and desperation, show the promise of this day. Help us bind ourselves in union, help our hands tell of our love. With thine aid, O fount of justice, earth be fair as heaven above.
Good morning. I'm Liskin Hayes. I go by pronouns she, her, and I will serve as your worship associate this morning. We're going to have a responsive reading. So for those of you who may not be familiar, we'll take turns. We come together to lament with, celebrate with, and care for one another in our community and our world. Because we want to be here with one another, love is not only at the center, but also the opening that invites us to lament, celebrate, and care. Love invites us to honor our interdependence with all beings in the web of all existence. Love invites us to envision a world where all are free from exploitation, and the smallest to the largest are protected and nurtured with care and respect. Love invites us to revel in our uniqueness using pluralism as our guide. Love invites us to recognize all beings as sacred and celebrated. Our differences are appreciated and valued. All are equally sacred, regardless of culture, theology, and experience. Love invites us to counter all forms of oppression with justice.
Rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Naomi, and I'm your Director of Religious Education. And as you can see, you are going to be my littles today. We had camp all last week. I know I see some of our campers over here. We had camp all last week, Monday through Friday, and I hope I've exhausted them. Today is also the Pride Festival, so a lot of our kids are there at the parade. Yay, them. And next week is our family summer camp, so we're also getting ready for that. So it's a very busy couple weeks, so if you don't mind, I'm going to read to you today. If any of my littles are here and want to get close, please do. But I'm going to gather right here, and we're going to read a story called Carl and the Meaning of Life. This is an oldie but a goodie. If you've been with me long enough, you know that we've read this book, but similar minds think alike. And so we haven't read it in a long time, and I love this story, so we're going to read this together. Carl and the Meaning of Life, and this was written by Deborah Friedman. Hello, my friends. Carl was not a bird. Carl was not a bear or a beaver. Carl was an earthworm. And he lived underground, moving always moving, burrowing, tunneling, digesting dead leaves, feasting and casting, turning hard dirt into fluffy soil day after day. Why? Asked a field mouse gathering seeds. Why do you do that? Why? Carl didn't know why, but now he needed to find out. So Carl stopped making fluffy soil. I'll be right back, he told the field mouse. He spotted a rabbit. Maybe she knew why. Why do I do what I do? He asked her. Oh, goodness dear, she said. I do not know. I do what I do for my babies. But Carl didn't have any babies. A fox appeared. Carl turned to the fox. Why do I do what I do? Asked Carl. Who do I do it for? For whom? Replied the fox. Alas, my meal awaits. I am here for the hunt. But Carl did not want to hunt. Why are you talking to a fox? Cried a squirrel. Carl was startled, because the field mouse is waiting and wants to know what I'm here for. The squirrel declared, I'm here to plant trees. These are where I sleep. But Carl could not sleep, not high in a tree, and not without an answer for the mouse. So he pushed on. What? Said the deer. And he pushed on and on. Hours turned into days until the soil was no longer fluffy. The ground around Carl turned barren and dry. while he continued to search and ask why. But the birds had flown off to find grasses and fluff. The bear trundled away to look for berries. Soon there was nobody left to talk to. "What about me?" called Carl. The clouds were silent, and so was the air. "I will never find out," he sniffed. Then Carl heard his sniffle echo, followed by a squeak. "I can't find any grubs," a voice cried. It was the saddest ground beetle he had ever seen. Carl peeked under a stone. No grubs. Then he poked at the dirt. It was hard like a rock. Where was his fluffy soil? Suddenly, Carl knew what he needed to do. "I'll be back," he promised. For hours into days, weeks into months, Carl munched, digested, left castings, and tunneled, and turned that hard dirt back into the rich soil. "You made my seeds grow," said the mouse. Clover blossomed once again, and the rabbit came back with her kits. The squirrel returned to plant new trees. The fox was lured by the hunt, all of them able to do what they do best. How? Well, why not ask Carl? The end. I love this story because it tells us and reminds us that no matter how big or small we might be, or how big or small the job might be, like making coffee every morning, we all have a purpose, and sometimes we just have to ask how or why, and sometimes we just have to ask Carl. Any of my kiddos coming with me, I'm gonna have you stand and we're gonna sing you out.
May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace, as you go your way in peace.
The offering today goes to our church, our beloved community. This money goes to support our amazing and wonderful staff, programs, and all the good work this community does and will do. We will now receive our beloved community offering. Thank you for your generosity.
Every time I feel this way, this old familiar sinking, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. By and by I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. It's been said, and I do believe it. As you ask, so shall you receive. So take from me these troubles, bring me sweet release, where the river will never run dry. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. By and by I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. There is a river in this heart of hearts, with the knowingness of my highest good. I am willing, I will do my part, where the river will never run dry. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted by and by. I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry, where the river will never run dry. This river will never run dry.
What a lovely segue into our pastoral prayer today. I wanted to share with you, this is a little different from what you normally do, but I wanted to share a prayerful meditation written by shaman and medicine man, Angel Deer. So I invite you to settle in and close your eyes and notice your breath as we listen to his words. He says, there is a weight pressing down on the world, a grief that lingers in the bones of humanity. You feel it, don't you? The tightening in your chest when you wake, the strange restlessness that no amount of movement can shake, the sense that something, everything, is unraveling and you are caught in the pull of its undoing. This is a time of troubles, the time our ancestors spoke of, the time when old ways are forgotten and the sickness of disconnection spreads like rot through the roots of the world. When the stories of the land are drowned beneath the hum of machines and the relentless noise of human minds that have forgotten how to listen. But listen, even now, the earth is speaking. Even now, the rivers and forests hold wisdom that can mend the torn fabric of your being. Even now, there is a way through the darkness, and it is not found in the mind. When you cannot leave your head, when your mind is a storm that howls with worry and regret, surrender to your surroundings. Not in the way modern humans surrender, to distractions, to numbness, to the easy escape of screens and substances, but in the way a river surrenders to gravity, flowing in the embrace of the land. Go outside. Feel the wind on your skin. Let it remind you that breath is older than thought, and the world is far vaster than your worries. Walk until your footsteps match the rhythms of the land beneath you. Step with reverence. Step as though the earth is alive beneath you, because it is. Lean against the rough bark of a tree and remember that this being has stood here for longer than any human sorrow. Press your palm to stone and know it has witnessed ages rise and fall, and yet it remains steady and unchanged. Drink from a running stream and let it teach you the way that water knows how to move around obstacles, how it does not resist, but simply finds another way. Breathe. Not shallow, hurried breaths, but deep, belly-filling gulps of air as though you are drinking in the sky itself. Let the wind enter you, sweeping away what no longer serves, clearing out the debris of despair, fear, and heaviness. When the world of humans is too much, let the more than human world cradle you. The old ones know this truth. Our grandmothers who sang to the seeds, our grandfathers who knelt in the dirt, our ancestors who listened to the whispers of the wind and the silence of the stones. They know what we have forgotten, that we are not alone, that we were never meant to bear the weight of existence on our own, locked inside our own minds, severed from the great web of life. The forest does not ask you to be anything but what you are. The river does not demand that you solve all the world's problems before it will offer you its song. The earth does not require your perfection, only your presence. Let yourself be held. Let yourself be reminded. Let yourself become small in the face of mountains and vast in the embrace of the sky. And when you return to the world of humans, carry the silence of the stones with you. Move like the river, root like the trees. Let the wind move through you so that nothing heavy lingers too long. This is how we endure the times of trouble. This is how we find our way back to ourselves. This is how we remember what was never truly lost. This morning, we keep Crystal Reiser in our prayers as she had a bike accident last week and broke her pelvis and 2 ribs. She's managing well at home, but she does invite cards. They are welcome. We also hold in our care this morning Luz Amaryllis, who had shoulder surgery on Thursday. A meal train has been set up for her as she recovers, and if you are interested in providing a meal for Luz and her family, please contact Barbara Snook. Today we keep Mohammed Sabet in our thoughts as he struggles with his eyesight at the age of 94. Our thoughts are also with Ruth Guy's family and friends as she is on morphine and unresponsive at home on hospice care. The family has requested there be no visitors. Our pastoral care associate today is Jim Boyd, who's back there wearing a purple stole. Please let Jim know if you need someone to listen to you, companion you, or just be with you. Jim is here for you. I also wanted to add a joy that Don Bacon and Amaryllis, whose last name I don't remember, Amethyst showed up, as well as Reverend Eric and his wife Emily, to bless people at Pride yesterday, and I did it for 2 hours, and it was a very beautiful, moving experience to be able to offer some protection and joy and acceptance to people in this world that we're living in right now. Blessed be and amen.
Our reading today is from The Heart of Buddha's Teaching by Thich Nhat Hanh. For a table to exist, we need wood, a carpenter, time, skillfulness, and many other causes. And each of these causes need other causes to be. The wood needs the forest, the sunshine, the rain, and so on. The carpenter needs his parents, breakfast, fresh air, and so on. And each of those things in turn has to be brought about by other conditions. If we continue to look in this way, we'll see that nothing has been left out. Everything in the cosmos has come together to bring us this table, looking deeply at the sunshine, the leaves of the tree, and the clouds. We can see the table. The one can be seen in the all, and the all can be seen in the one.
When I first walked into First Universalist in 2003 with my 3-year-old and my 3-week-old, handed the babies to Pris and Rhoda, and started to discover this place, I was a little touchy then about religion. For the most part, I'd had a pretty good experience growing up Catholic, going over there to Notre Dame school, but I no longer resonated with that theology. And I was really feeling allergic to being told what to believe. I remember coming into this building the first year or so feeling like I had to keep my guard up. Although in retrospect, I'm not quite sure what I was afraid of. I think many of us are or were cautious when we first summoned the courage to enter this place and opened our minds to learn about a liberating free faith. Some of us have been burned by sexist or queer-phobic theologies, and we don't want anything to do with that stuff. As a consequence of this trepidation and anxiety of our religious trauma, in our faith communities, Unitarian Universalists don't talk about God very often. The word God is a genuine trigger for many UUs, a cue that possibly we are about to be subjected to someone else's absolute knowledge of the universe and how life and death work. We are instantly on guard when somebody says God because we don't want to be judged if we don't share a belief in a story about a magical guy who lives in the sky and casts judgment on those who don't worship him. It's no wonder we're a little touchy about the word God, especially now that Christian nationalism threatens our democracy. Sometimes it takes a while to really understand how our UU faith is so drastically different from creedal religions. Rather than a set of beliefs, a story, or a creed that we all share, we cultivate a trust in each other to discover what each of us believes in our own hearts and minds. We create covenants that allow us to listen without fear when someone shares a different concept of the divine. As UUs, we use our lived experience to guide our beliefs. Secretly, I think everybody does that, but we articulate it. We know that our lives teach us. They help us form our belief systems. We give weight to moments of inspiration and feelings of wonder and awe. We learn from other religious and spiritual traditions, and we keep our hearts and minds open to prophetic voices who guide and inspire us in our individual understanding of beloved mystery. Many years ago, my devout Catholic mother said, when I started coming here, "You're just cherry-picking what you believe." Because for a devout Catholic, that's not the proper way to grow your faith. But over time, I realized that my mom was absolutely correct. And I've realized that this is why I embrace the way we do theology as Unitarian Universalists. We play and learn and grow our theology, cherry-picking, in community with each other. Some of our preferred prophetic voices may be a bit unconventional. We love us a little Brene Brown or St. Mary Oliver or even Michelle Obama. We listen to the wisdom of the Buddha, the Torah, the Quran, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, the Washington Post, a cereal box, a billboard, a song, or even something we heard in the grocery store. And this open-hearted approach to spirituality sets Unitarian Universalism apart from many other religious traditions. We don't expect to know that we have come upon the ultimate objective truth. We don't claim that we know what happens when we die, or the true nature of God or not God and the universe. Not only do we not expect to know the ultimate truth, but we accept that not knowing everything is part of the human condition. Some of us even accept it as a blessing. But that doesn't mean we aren't spiritual seekers. We trust in science and our shared values to guide us ever closer to truth. And this is what we call faith. Faith that we can use our hearts and minds to discern what is important and meaningful and good and right. We have faith in our cherry picking. Unitarian Universalism opens us to the possibility that the holy is everywhere, that it isn't just reserved for the enlightened or the ordained, but instead available to us all. As one of our beloved UU songs by Peter Mayer says, everything is holy now. When we tune into the world around us and listen to the whispers of universe in nature, in coincidences, in our perceptions and in our experiences, we realize that our lives are precious, our lives have meaning, and that the holy is here now. But that is no small faith. It is essential to our mental health to have faith in meaning and beloved mystery. Our spiritual practices can help us to listen to the quiet stirrings in our heart that guide us, sometimes even in non-rational ways. Reverend Wendy Williams at Jefferson Unitarian in Golden calls that the niggle inside of us, that little feeling. Do you know it? The feeling that calls us to stop and listen to our higher power, our inner wisdom. What if that is it? What if that is the holy with a capital H? Unitarian Universalists do not seek to or expect to receive ultimate wisdom and truth from an outside source, from a religious leader or a deity in the sky. Instead, we look and listen and notice. We give credence to our personal lived experiences. Our UU faith calls us to explore a wide range of ideas about how to speak of and approach beloved mystery. We know that we don't have to think alike to love alike. That's what I learned here in this, not this building, but this space. I remember many years ago here at First Universalist, one of my friends and Misty's friends her fundamentalist Christian parents came here and said, this place is a liberal social club. Now, at the time, I wasn't actually offended by that. They didn't understand how we could come together without a shared creed. And at the time, I was okay with that. I loved my liberal social club here. But now that I have dived deeper into my UU faith, I went to a UU seminary, I know that while some people may come here for a liberal social club, which is fine, our UU faith can also be so much richer and deeper if you come here willing to be curious and explore. What you put into your faith journey as a UU is proportionate to what you will get back. Probably that's the same for all faith. Our shared value of interdependence is a covenant that binds us together as people of faith. No matter what our concept of God or not God is, we all agree that we are connected. We don't agree on what to call this energy that binds us, our interconnectedness, but we agree to place value on interdependence. We believe that we are bound to each other across our diverse spiritual beliefs. Some of us UUs are staunch atheists. We use science and reason to discern and experience to guide our beliefs. Atheist UUs are sometimes intrigued by quantum physics and the mysteries that science has yet to discover. There is plenty of interdependence in science. Most scientists don't even understand the concepts of interdependence like quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is defined as when particles become entangled, they become linked in a way that their properties are correlated even when separated by a vast difference. Albert Einstein had a great way of referring to quantum entanglement. He called it, quote, spooky action at a distance. That's right, even Einstein called it spooky because it's such an awesome mystery. I asked AI what it all means, and AI told me this. Quantum science may reveal how everything in the universe, or multiple universes, is connected to everything else through higher dimensions that our senses cannot comprehend. Science is an exploration of interdependence, and no matter what we personally believe about the origins of life or the nature of mystery, as UUs, we believe we're all connected, and this is one of the things, the covenants that binds us together, maybe distinguishing us from a liberal social club. Our faith in interdependence is rooted in a shared value, and we can also use that shared value to guide our actions and our relationships. Many UUs consider ourselves theists or agnostics. I call myself an agnostic theist, which means that I know that I do not know, but I do believe in a higher power, and I'm open to the possibility that I'm wrong. As an agnostic theist, my faith in the divine is open to revelation. Many people are Gnostic theists, which means they believe that their God exists for certain. A couple years ago at the congregation I serve in Littleton, we had an Episcopal priest, Reverend Alwyn, serve as our religious educator. On the first Sunday of each month, she preached sermons that centered around God's love. Most people at Columbine would never use those words, and it's kind of a miracle that everybody stayed to listen. But we trusted Reverend Alwyn to uphold our UU covenants that allow us to live in pluralism with respect. We trusted her. We didn't feel threatened by her beliefs, but instead inspired by her faith in a divine entity who holds us each with great love. There is a beauty and a freedom we gain when we trust our UU values and covenants to guide the way we do religious community. In our pulpit at Columbine, just as I'm sure we all have here, we have voices from many spiritual traditions that share reflections with us. At Columbine, we've had guest speakers from the Colorado Sikh community. We've had a rabbi, Buddhists, various Christian traditions, and humanists. We trust that even if somebody says the G word, we're okay. If somebody is an atheist, we're okay. If somebody is a pagan or a Hindu polytheist, it's okay. We know that our speakers share our values and that our covenants will hold us in mutual respect. Our UU values, core values, center on religious freedom, and therefore, you are safe here. As Unitarian Universalists, we're each called to our own paths to discover truth and meaning through the textbook of our lives and our reasoning. We believe that all people have access to truth and that we are better off when we come together to play with our theology. Our UU faith is an invitation to theological play. As we learn and grow and experience the world as evolving spiritual beings, we change our ideas of beloved mystery, the spirit of life and love, regularly. We're content to let the nature of interdependence remain undefined, undiscovered, not fully revealed. So no matter what flavor of you or non-you you are, that was a lot of yous, no matter where you fall on the spectrum of theist to pantheist to atheist, our shared value of interdependence binds us in an acknowledgement of connectedness. The word beloved in front of the word mystery is not an accident. It is a testament to love at the center of our spiritual pursuit of truth and meaning. A shared understanding that we don't know everything, but we're open to discovering pieces of the holy. It's a reminder of how little we know, and an acceptance that it's okay that we don't know. Growing up Catholic, a Gnostic theist tradition, letting go of the idea that my religion was objectively true was kind of scary. The more I learned, especially as a young college student of philosophy, the more convinced I became that there are some things we just can't know. We aren't meant to. When I was in college, one of my classmates, John, asked me something I have never forgotten. He said, "Jenny, what if right now a giant hand appeared in the sky, rolled back the clouds, and a bearded old man in a big booming voice said, 'Jenny, I am God'? Would that prove the existence of God? How would you know it wasn't the devil or an optical illusion, technology, your mind playing tricks on you, the Wizard of Oz?" The truth is that even a giant hand and a booming voice and a bearded old guy in the sky would still not prove that there is a God. Most of us UUs have come to terms with our belief that we can't prove what the nature of God is. So instead of depending on our belief in a certain creed for our salvation, we have faith that creating lives of truth and meaning grounded in UU shared values is the way to our salvation. We covenant around the shared value of interdependence, and that opens us up to a whole range of ideas and possibilities and theological play. The good news is we enjoy religious freedom to explore. The bad news is having a wide spectrum of beliefs does not provide an easy language or an elevator speech to summarize what we believe. Therefore, people might perceive us as a liberal social club because it's darn hard to say what a UU is in the short time you're in the elevator. It's nearly impossible to wrap these big, ever-changing ideas in a tidy bow and present them to the world with great certainty. But we can define our faith by our commitment to spiritual exploration, by our acceptance of mystery, revelation yet to be unsealed, and something greater than the sum of the parts. Interdependence is also a call to action, an invitation to care about the least among us, because we know we are connected to every other living being, even the ones we don't like. Interdependence calls us to serve and protect each other, to listen to each other, and to create an inclusive and equitable space for all. And this world needs our inclusive and equitable space right now. May our covenant of interdependence be a source of comfort, of mystery and intrigue, and a call to keep putting love for others at the center. May it be a call to compassion and hope, and may it ground you in a courageous call to seek justice for all. Blessed be, and may it be so.
Please rise in body or spirit for our final hymn.
To show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow, a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for that meaning which binds our heart and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service. With love and justice, strive to make us free.
In the words for extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
I am connected to you, and you are connected to each other, and we are connected to people all over the planet, the birds, the whales, the algae, and the plankton. May the mystery of the vastness of all that we don't understand hold you in reverence and awe and responsibility to care for each other and to care for our world.
Well, it looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you. And I know you might have a heavy load, but I can carry some too. I will lift you up when they push you down. I will raise my voice and stand my ground. Well, it looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you.
And it looks like it might be a long night,
But I ain't going nowhere.
and I know it's gonna be a hard fight,
But I will stay right here. I will shine the light in the darkest hour. I will face the man in the tallest tower. Well, it looks like it might be a long night, but I ain't going nowhere. I will work,
I will fight,
I will strive in the name of love. I will speak,
I will shout,
I will sing it to the skies above. Well, it looks like it might be a perilous climb, but I will follow your lead. And I know it might be a long time till the last of us is freed. But I will hold on tight, stay by your side. I will be with you for this long, long ride. Looks like it might be a perilous climb, but I will follow your lead. Well, it looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you. And I know you might have a heavy load, but I can carry some too. I will lift you up when they push you down. I will raise my voice and stand my ground. Well, it looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you.
That's right.
I'm gonna walk it with you. I'm gonna walk it with you. I will walk, I will climb, shine the light through the whole night through. Because it looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you.